person that is 25 and is dishing money and flossing money and showing this kind of a lifestyle, you end up doing things that are very unethical, immoral, to get to where you've seen your friends. Do not be pressured by anyone who does not have a story to tell of how they got to where they got. Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so happy you guys are here. So today we're going to talk about something that has been on my mind, about something that I've seen over and over. And I think because we are going into festive season, for those who celebrate Christmas, it is important that we keep reminding ourselves the trap of consumerism, the power of intentionality, or the power that is in intentional living, and the wisdom that is required for you to understand both. People consume because they are not intentional about their lives, like the overconsumption. Because let me say this here: the consumerism is the buying of goods and services, yeah. But what has happened is that people have overconsumed what they actually need in their lives. So you end up buying and buying and buying. So there's a trap that is in the consumerism that looks like it's a normal thing. So you end up buying more than you need to live, okay? So that is a trap, and the power that is there when you become intentional about your life. Because not unless you're aware, you cultivate self-awareness, you become intentional about how you're living, then you're going to be perpetuated in this trap of consumerism, year in and year out. And because on this channel I'm so big on self-awareness, understanding yourself, growing yourself, growing your money, and growing your business, I just feel it's right for me to talk about consumerism, talk about something that's when I was actually looking into this topic, there's something I thought about. Wisdom that is required for you to live an intentional life and to remove yourself from this overconsumption is found in the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verse 7, okay? And it says, I'm going to read according to what the Bible says: the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever you get insight, right? So there's another version that says, in the beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom, and whatever you get understanding. And also there's another verse in Proverbs 4:25 that says, let your eyes look directly forward and your gaze be straight before you, right? When you focus your eyes in front, then you're not diverted by a lot of things that happen into this world, right? And especially in this day and age where consumerism is such a normal thing. Consumerism is looked as a normal thing to do. I feel we need to really address this situation, because if we don't understand, if we don't get the wisdom, if we don't ask God to give us wisdom to understand things, we're conformed into the ways of this world. And one of the ways of how people are conformed is the way people spend and the way people end up over consuming. And let me tell you guys one of the things that actually made me want to do this video about overconsumption is because I'm talking to our young girls and our young men, okay? I felt like it is important for us to address the overconsumption and what it has led to at this particular moment, okay? One of the reasons why I actually saw a content creator, a very young content creator that is living a life. I think that content creator is around 20 or 21, 22. I think she's not even past 22. I think she's 20 to 21, right? And this girl is living such a lavish life, but she's not living with her parents. Days in her house, it's like a day in the life of this content creator. So I kept questioning, what is it that you do for income, right? Like, and this is not to prey on people's life. My thought process was, for the young girls that have just finished school and are yet to go to college, or people who have grown and they are 30 and you feel so stuck and you feel like you're depressed because your own life, because of what you are seeing online, right? So my question was, what does she do for income for her to live in this side of town, and for her to be able to afford the kind of life that she's living? That people want to live the life that you're living, but people don't know what you do for work, because, or you're not working, but you're living a life that look like someone who is earning a 6-figure salary, right? So, and you're only 21. So that was my contention. Like, so it's okay to show your life in this way, but at the same time, isn't this the reason why most of the young people are going into depression and going into mental depression and they're experiencing mental issues? Because of these things that people are able to air their life, being able to achieve all these things. And I say achieve because I'm just wondering, how did you get to this place, right? So if they're able to, if they're seeing the comparison, you feel like you're not doing enough. You feel like you're not in a position where you needed to be, right? But this is the question we need to keep asking ourselves. Let me tell you guys, the amount of time I have had this conversation of, anytime you want to take someone as a role model, please make sure you see their footprint of success. This is what I mean. Especially, like today I was watching something about the CEO of Safaricom. That is one of the leading telecommunication company in Kenya. Like he worked, he started as at PwC, he worked in KBL, then he went to another country, then he went to, I think he said somewhere in, I'm not going to mention because I can't remember, and then now he was hunted to come be the CEO of Safaricom, right? He went to a certain school in Kenya, right? So there's a footprint, and that's why I say to my young girls, and I'm talking even to my young boys, right? To my young people, it is important before you put yourself in a position of comparison that you understand and you see, let people show you their footprint of success. There is nothing as bad as for you to put yourself in you put a certain role model when they don't show you how they got to where they got. That is my biggest concern. That most people are slipping into feeling like they are not doing it. You're doing enough, sweetheart. For your age, if, let's say you finished school when you're 19, let's say, or 18, yeah? You have 4 years, yeah, to go to college. Or if you didn't go to college, you went under a certain program of learning. That's what I'm, like, you don't have to go to university for you to learn. You can go to tertiary education where you learn about probably dressmaking, you learn about beauty, you learn about hairdressing, you learn about furniture making. But these years that is required for you to go under certain learning curve before you are established, right? So at 19 to 25, you're still under the leadership of learning, because it can mean so many things to so many people, right? Or you're under someone, a mentor, who is helping you learn something that they already crafted and they know. For example, those people who go to mechanic, making of the car, you're probably being taken by one of your uncle to go under his leadership to learn about mechanic. That is learning. You don't have to necessarily pay a lot of money to go to university. I'm just saying, there is time for you to learn before you're established, before you start getting money, before you start living this large life. My biggest concern is to see very young people who are below 25, and let me just say something here. There is a difference between people who come from very rich family. We know there are not so many people who come from a certain particular family member. So we know your mother is a whatever. Let's just say your father is the president. You're able to do these things because of where you come from. There's a lineage of wealth in your family. That's not the case in a lot of people. Let's say 1% of people are on that category where they live the kind of life they are living because of their father's wealth or their parents' wealth, right? But for majority of people, there's a period of where you're seasoned, where you are working and you're learning and you're working on your mindset for you to be able to be established. My question is, how can someone who is a certain age not show how they got to where they got, yet make you be so depressed, so low comparison? You're comparing yourself to that person who has not even left any footprint of success. So let's say even if you finish school at, let's say, 25 or 26, depending on the way I'm saying your learning curve. When you leave, it takes a certain amount of years for you to be seasoned enough for you to be a place where you are a high income earner. Let me take the same example. This CEO who works in the Safaricom, he has worked as CEOs in two companies but different position for him to be a CEO of a leading company. Meaning there's a trail of where he started to where he is. He's headhunted to come and lead a big organization because the people who are hunting, the headhunters, looked at his previous record for him to be picked to work on this particular company. Like this is what I want to say. So by the time you're coming to lead the biggest corporation in Kenya or in another country, you have been seasoned. You have a season where you have learned, you have acquired knowledge, you have acquired leadership to get to that place, right? So my question is, this person that is 25 and is dishing money and flossing money and showing this kind of a lifestyle to make other kids be so pressured in life, when they can't establish where they have gotten their money, right? So I'm here to talk to, because I saw especially when I was thinking about this topic, I saw 18 to 25 and I'm like, I hope they get to hear this. Do not be pressured by anyone who does not have a story to tell of how they got to where they got, especially when it comes to success. Please pick role models, pick young people who have worked to get to that place. Let me take another example that I personally like looking at. There's a guy called Njugush. He's a comedian in Kenya, right? This guy, you can see where he's come from. You can see his work ethic. You can map him out to where he's gotten to. So you can say, I'm going to take this guy as a role model in comedian, but where did he start? And let me tell you guys, any person who has been successful, they always have a story to tell. Like they have podcasts, they have biography, they have been interviewed. So you can actually see their interview of how they came to where they came. And there's a story, there's pictures, there's a lot of backup to their successes. Meaning people can see, I saw this guy when he was starting out. I saw this guy called Njugush. He's a comedian in Kenya. I saw him start from another comedy that was just, I can't even say, like it was those funny comedies. Like we can see where he came from. But for someone to pressure and to put pressure and to make you go into a depression and in a bad state of mind when they cannot bring forth a story with them, they can't bring forth map out their successes to how they got to where they got. You cannot allow a success that has not been mapped out to be what you're using to gauge your success, right? So you have to be really careful. And the reason why I talk about this a lot passionately is because I see a lot of lifestyle content creator, which is okay. You can do what you want to do. This content creator, lifestyle content creators, yeah, and you can see how they host their birthdays. So this thing has come even to our young people, even to not just to our young people, even to us, for us to be pressured to host such birthday party, for us to host such to be able to do house tours and house haul. So we are pressured, and we are seeing, when you look at these content creators, you're pressured, and when you look at your life, you think you're doing so badly. So how can you be living like this? Because everything that is shown online is about success. And success, when I say success, I mean quote and unquote, because you don't know the true story, right? So because of issues of people always looking at their homes, and also going into consumerism, and being able to buy a lot of things to be able to keep up with these content creators, that's why you find someone wants to copy exactly what they have seen in this person's house to their own house. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. You can make your house as beautiful as you want. My question is, are you intentional? Are you self-aware that the person you're trying to emulate, the person you're trying to copy, where do they get their finances from? Yeah, because that's how you end up finding yourself in debts that you cannot even explain, when you are trying to live a certain life that does not live. Let me tell you, every successful person underwent a certain process in their life where they struggled, and they can tell you, I struggled, I did this. And it's not to say struggle is something wonderful, like everyone should struggle, but there is a story to your success. Show us your story before you give us your success, so that these young people can be able to see, how did you get to where you if you are a musician, how did you get to that place? Did we see you in school events before you came to big stage, right? Because for you to show people your big stage moment, you pressure these young people when they can't see how you came to how you got to where you got to. These young people who are coming out of school, they are feeling like they are left, they are behind. Yeah, let me tell you guys, the Bible is very clear to guard your mind, to guard your eyes, to guard yourself against such things, so that you don't find yourself in perpetual pain of debt, perpetual pain of repeated issues of you end up doing things that are very unethical, immoral, to get to where you've seen your friends, you've seen the people you left college with, you've seen where they have gone. So you end up doing this funny stuff to get to where they have gotten to, but they don't tell you how they got to where they got to. They do not have a story. So my dear, you're not late. You're not doing badly. You're not doing badly. You are not a failure. You are doing your level best. And let me tell you, you will get to where you want to get to, only if you remove yourself from this trap of people who have achieved successes that do not have a footprint, right? And I'm telling you guys, I was watching a documentary of two very young guys who were very successful, but because of keeping up, overconsumption, they bought big houses. They were living a very large life according to the eyes of the public, but behind the scene, they were going through a lot of debt. So one of the guy actually took his life because he couldn't keep up with the debt. The other guy took himself and took his family out, right? So that's what I'm saying, and I want to say it. Please stop the comparison. It steals from your current life. It steals joy from the position you are right now. So before you go online to compare yourself, and if you ask me as your big sister, I will tell you, get off social media. Go into a time of learning, a time of seasoning, and marinating yourself, inputting structure into your mind, inputting things into your mind. Let me say this. You came as a complete software, as a complete package. You did not come half or whatever. So you were created to come here with a full potential, but some things you have to learn how to access, like your full potential of where you want to see yourself. But you have to put in the work to unlock the potential that were created inside of you. That means you have to put in work within yourself to unlock all this potential that were put for you to get to where you want to get, right? So for you to just want to wake up and achieve everything at once, it is premature success. No one should lie to you. There is a essence, fabric in working to get to success. The in between, where people want to despise, of humble beginning to success, it makes fabric, it makes essence, it makes structures, it makes a foundation of your success. So in this time where you're in between your starting and where you want to be, this is where you invest in your mind, you invest in what you read, you invest. Choose, let me tell my young people here, choose a topic, 2 or 3 topics that you feel that you want to learn about and become so good. So this is a time where you, if you want, disappear from social media, disappear from your friends that are giving you pressure to live a certain life. If these people are going out every weekend, you're 25, where are you getting money? If you're not employed, if you're still in school, where are you getting money to go enjoy yourself? Where are you getting money to go for vacation? Where do you want to get money to live in the upper side of Nairobi? Some of us, it took us 10 years to even got a luxury life. 10 plus years of working hard and toiling. And not to say everyone needs to take that amount of time. I'm just saying, I do not despise the learning stages. You cannot forgo the learning stages, because if you forgo the learning stages, the in-between of life, you only make money. Only make money. What does that mean? You're rich, you have money, but you're the poorest. If money is the only thing that you have, you're the poorest person on earth. There's nothing fabric, there's nothing essence to you than the money that you want. So you jump a stage to get to the money. Yes, you will get the money, but guess what? There's a stage of foundation, there's a stage of essence, there's a stage of fabric that you've missed out. So let no one give you pressure when you're in your learning stage. Run away from these people. Close these phones. Take this time to invest in yourself. When you pick these 4 or 3 topics, like if you want to learn about, let's say, technology. You know, nowadays, you don't even have to go to school at fully. You can learn these things online. There are so many places where you can learn. You can learn how to code. You can put time. Give yourself 5 years to learn everything that you need to learn, and you will make the money. My problem is when you want to make the money without the learning. You want to cross the other side without having to establish a bridge that you can go back to. You know, learning makes you, even when you have acquired certain successes and something goes wrong, you're able to come back because you left a bridge, you left a foundation, you left a fabric to your being. So you can come back and refer and go back to your successes. And that's why people who made money with, they left footprints, they're able to go back and be able to go back to success. Yeah? If you see someone who was very successful, they take a 1 year and they go back to, they achieve, they return everything that they lost, because if they worked to their successes, there is a footprint where they can see, if I started here and I made it to here, I can always start and still make it. The issue is, if you jump this stage of learning, you will have a free fall, meaning there's nothing to catch you, there's no net, there's no foundation. So take the time to learn. And I'm saying this, read Proverbs 4:7. After gaining the wisdom, then gain understanding. That this life, you cannot live a life of seeing things that are not even probably true, and you've refused to protect your mind against things that are not true. You've refused to protect your eyes and work on yourself, so that there's something in you more than just money. There's something in you that is more than just what seems like success or showing off, right? Out there, we as parents, we also have a very big role to play when it comes to our kids' life and how we show them what is success. So if you push your child to just get money, what is that? What is that as a general human being? When they get the money, then what? Then who are they? Have they established character? Have they established values? Have they established the fullness within themselves? Have they achieved, have they tapped into their potential before they achieve this? So we have a part to play in our kids' life to tell them, take the time to learn these things that you see you can always get, but work especially on yourself, work on your mind, work on understanding and being intentional with your life. And for that, I'm going to say, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Do not be pushed into consumerism trap. Do not. And if you're a young person, there's time for you to get successes. Just dedicate a few years into learning and success will come to you. And for that, I will see you on the next one. Bye.